Good day, everyone. This is Sydney Lefofe of SL Podcasts. I'm very excited again today to be sharing information with you, the information that is meant to change your life and make you better. We are on another important topic today, which I'm very excited about as always. Before we start anything, let me say this thing, which is very important. Our personal experiences, or the things that I personally have experienced, authenticate my messages, or they authenticate our messages. Our messages are not only the things we read, but we are sharing our personal experiences because it is very important for the younger generation to get the real feel of life. They don't need to be going through what we're going through. They just need to learn from us and run with life because they have learned and they have avoided some things. And our personal experiences and our personal struggles are the things that are authenticating our messages or the things we are sharing. Because we are not just sharing from our heads, we are sharing from our hearts, from what we felt, what we know, and what we have experienced. That's why we can say our messages are authentic, because they come from a safe place of experience, a safe place of struggles. When you grow up without privileges, and you work your way to survival, you work your way to doing some things so that you can see your life improve. We learn some things on the way, and that's why we are here and trying to impart some knowledge on the upcoming generation or anyone who want to improve their lives. So you are safe with us because we are not just saying things from the theoretical point of view, but we are saying some of these things from our struggles and our experiences. So you are safe with us, and that's why it is very important for people to be open to learning, to be open to listen to the information that can improve their lives. And today we are on another important topic which I see very critical. It is one of the things that are very critical. And the topic today is the simplicity of life. Life is supposed to be simple. And life should be simple. And in fact, life is simple. We complicate many things because we want the spectacular. We want the things that are going to catch attention. We want things that are a little bit complicated because we want to be different and we want to be looked at as if we are different. And we miss the simplicity of life, because whatever we are trying to achieve with our lives, we need to be following the simple steps and simple strategies and simple things. And when we get to understand those simple things, what will be left is to be on a repetitive mode where we keep doing the same thing over and over again and improving over time. This is how simple life is. There's nothing complicated about life, but we have made it to look complicated. We have tried to be acrobatic about a lot of things, but all those things are not necessary. We need to keep life simple. We need to keep the ideas simple. We need to keep everything simple, because life is supposed to be simple. The fact that life is simple levels the ground for everyone. Life is not complicated, and life was never meant to be complicated. If it was complicated, life will not be fair, because it will only be understood by people with high IQs, or people who are intelligent, or people who can remember things. Those are the people we call people with high IQ. But life is understood by everyone. Low IQ, middle IQ, or high IQ. Life has been simplified for all of us to understand. And that's why all of us, it doesn't matter whether you were very intelligent at school or you were doing very poor at school, life will always give you a chance for survival and for thriving if you get the formula right. It is very important for us to understand that about life. That's how simple life is. Nothing complicated. Life is understood by everyone. It doesn't matter where you are. Your demographic location is not a determining factor for anything. Wherever you are, you can survive and you can thrive, because that's how life is. Very simple. If life could be complicated, like I said, it will only be understood by people with high IQ, but life is very simple. Whether your IQ is high or low, or whether you understand the educational system that is used now, which is really based on segregating people, those with high IQ from people with low IQ. And those with low IQ are deemed as failures. When you fail your examination, you are deemed as failure. But life has proven over and over again, those people with low IQ have proven that they are survivors and they are thriving. Many people who are doing well financially are people who were deemed as failures because of failing some examination. These are some of the things that we really need to understand. We are going to be studying some very simple things about life. One thing that we all know, which is very simple, all of us know that food grows on the ground. That's where food comes from. We all know that meat comes from animals. If you want meat, you kill an animal. These are basic things about life. And if you want food, whether sorghum, wheat, you have to plant some seed on the ground. If you want food, you plant some seeds on the ground. And after some time, you're going to harvest. That's how simple life is, and we all understand that. And the other simple thing that we all understand is the fact that we all need to eat. This is basic. We all need to eat, and we all need water, and we all need continuous supply of food and water for us to survive. And the other simple thing, we need simple things like shelter. It doesn't necessarily have to be a fancy shelter. As long as we have a covering, those are the basic needs that we need. And this is how life is, very simple. And if we are going to understand that, our lives are going to be a little bit easier. As long as we have shelter and you have continuous supply of food and water, you can survive on earth. That's how simple life is. And it doesn't matter whether your shelter is made out of mud and grass, thatched with grass, or is made out of glass or expensive material. What remains, or the bottom line is, we all be having shelter, which is basic. That's what we all need. For our survival on earth, we need a covering over our heads, and we need food, and we need water. And those who work hard, they work hard so that they can have options. of the basic needs. And those who are deemed to be poor, they can still make shelter out of whatever they have for survival, and they can still grow their food for survival, and they can still find some sources of water for survival. That's how life is. Very simple. And we don't need to be complicating life. If you can manage all these expensive things, well and fine. But if you cannot manage all those things, you need to go for survival. You need to be able to provide shelter for yourself and for people in a sphere of influence. And then if we can be consistent in doing some things, we can see an upscaling or improvement in our lives until now we can afford even better things. And then with time, we can get to thriving and succeeding in whatever thing we want. But we need to keep life very simple, because life is supposed to be simple. The moment we complicate things, we are going to realize that we are going to do stuff that are not necessary. We are going to be in debt, and we are going to do a lot of things because we have put ourselves under pressure unnecessarily. We don't keep things simple. Life is supposed to be simple, and we need to simplify it and keep it simple for our survival. Some people have their minds and their eyes occluded because of continuous supply of food from somewhere. We are supposed to be providing for ourselves, but sometimes we get occluded. We are deceived by life because we have continuous supply of food from somewhere. And these are some of the things that we need to be understanding. We need to be deceived. We don't need to be deceived, in fact, by some of these things. We need to keep life simple to say we can provide for ourselves. We know where food comes from, and we know how we can get water somehow, and how we can get shelter. We know all those things, and we need to be keeping life as simple as that. It is very important. The other thing that is very simple, that we all know and we all understand, is the law of compounding interest. The law of compounding interest, if I put it in a simpler way, is the fact that things grow over time. If you have small number of animals, they will mate and they will multiply. With time, their numbers are going to increase. If you have seeds, you put them on the ground, you get 100 folds or 200 folds of the seeds that we have planted. This is the law of compounding interest. If we bring it to relevance now, to our daily experiences, if we put aside money in savings, we know for sure that money will keep increasing. The more we save, the more money accumulates. And that is what we know. And those are the things which are very simple. And unfortunately, even though we all know the law of compounding interest, we are not benefiting from it because we can't discipline ourselves, and we can't be consistent in doing things like that for our lives to keep improving and getting to another level. Because without obeying or complying with some natural laws, we are going to be hurt. We need to keep life simple. If we understand the law of compounding interest, we just need to follow that. If we eat more animals than they can reproduce, we are definitely going to hurt the number of our animals. With time, they are going to be depleted. It's as simple as that. We need to be keeping life simple because life is simple. And we need to be understanding some of these things. And in our inability to be disciplined, and to be consistent in obeying the law. Those are the things that are hurting us. Those are the things that are making our lives to be stagnant without any improvement. But anyone who follows the law of compounding interest, they will definitely see their lives improve. But those who make sure they use everything they have without sparing any seed for the future, they will definitely struggle. People have now developed this tendency of eating everything they have and eating again the things they were supposed to eat tomorrow or or in the future. And we do that by going into debts. Because whenever you go into debts, there are good debts and bad debts. Those who are intelligent, they know how to use the debt for their own advantage. And here we are talking about people who just put themselves under pressure and they make sure they borrow to buy food today. And then they struggle forever because they are always eating or using the future money today. And this is something, and people like that will never improve, and they suffer. They are always worried. They are always thinking about money and how they can dodge their creditors. So those are the things that we really need to be aware of. If we can keep our lives simple, keep things simple. You use what you have, and then you build on what you have so that your life can improve. But if you can put yourself under pressure to use what you have and using what you don't have, there's a term used for that. You'll be living beyond your means. And most of us are living beyond our means. We always want to do things, even though we know we don't have resources to be doing all those things. But we should be living within our means, doing what we can with what we have. It is as simple as that. That's how simple life is. Those who want to improve, they live within their means and they improve their means so that they can afford more things in the future. And if you keep life that simple, you are going to see a lot of improvement. And we are getting a quote from the Bible. I found this piece of information very important. So we are going to learn something from it. It is very interesting. And it reads, I have observed something else under the sun. The fastest runner doesn't always win the race. This is very true. And the strongest warrior doesn't always win the battle. The wise sometimes go hungry, and the skillful are not necessarily wealthy. And those who are educated doesn't always lead successful lives. It is all decided by chance, by being in the right place at the right time. That is the piece of scripture from the Bible. And we need to understand it doesn't really matter in life whether you are talented, you are educated, and you are skillful, you are strong. If you don't put life into perspective, you are going to realize that you are going to go hungry, you are going to struggle with all your accolades and with all your strength and your talents. Because life is supposed to be simple. Life is not understood by how many degrees you hold, but life is understood by people who keep it simple. It is very important for us to come to recognizing that there are so many people with many degrees and who are struggling badly because they are failing on simple things. They have attained and achieved much, but they are failing on simple things. Keeping up with the natural laws. And if you keep up with the natural laws, you are definitely going to come to be seeing your life improve. It doesn't take education, it doesn't take strength, it doesn't take how fast you are. There are a lot of people who are fast, who never made it into the big platforms and the big performance stages because they depended much on their strength and their talent, and they left to keep things simple. It is very important to understand that with all these things, whether talent or what, there is no guarantee for anything. You may be having all those things, but you are not guaranteed success. But we were deluded when we were growing up. We thought because other people have higher IQ, they are destined for great things. But life has taught us, because now we are no longer young, we have seen life and we have experienced life. It doesn't necessarily mean those who were very intelligent at school are doing well in real life. Some are struggling badly. But we were deluded to think because they were doing well at school, they are going to go on to succeed. And we have realized that there are people who are highly talented who went on to be nothing, because there is no guarantee to life. Life is simple. Whether you are the strongest or the weakest, life will give you something called a chance, because that's what the scripture was saying. It doesn't matter. It is all decided by chance, by being at the right time, at the right place at the right time. We are all given chance by life, because life is that fair. And we need to be understanding that if we are going to take our chances, whenever chances are presented to us, and we do our best with the little resources or with the little things that we are definitely going to see our lives improve. When we take our chances, because that's the most important thing, taking our chances. When a chance is presented to us, we need to make use of that chance. And we need to be working hard every day and keeping things simple. The playing ground has been leveled for everyone by time and chance for everyone. It is very important for us to be understanding that what is very important in life is good breaks or chances are for everyone on earth. It doesn't matter who you are, the kind of color you carry, or the language you speak. Time and chance will happen to you and for you. And the other thing, which is very common to everyone, mischief and misfortune will happen to everyone. And this is some of the things that are leveling the ground for all of us, and they are showing us that life is fair. We are going to have our bad moments, and we are going to have our good moments. And if we don't take our bad moments and learn from them, and if you don't take our good moments and make use of them, utilize and capitalize on the time and chance that you are given, you are going to look back with the regret to say, there I had a chance which I didn't make use of. These are some of the things that are very important for us to understand. And these are the simple things we are talking about. There's nothing complicated about realizing that here I have a chance. And you do your best with the chance that you are given. And the moment you do that, you know for sure that you stand a chance to win. If you are on the track, you have placed yourself in a place where there are chances that you are going to win. But if you When people are on the track and you are seated on the stands, you know for sure there's no chance for you to win. But when you are on the track, you know you have placed yourself in the right place at the right moment, and you have given yourself a chance to win. Our ability to educate ourselves on the simplicity of life is very important. We need to put life into perspective and realize that life is simple and is supposed to be kept simple. There's no complication about life, and we don't need to be complicating life in any way, but we need to understand. We need to appreciate life for what life is. Life is simple. Our failure to comply with the laws of nature go on to hurt us. These are some of the things which are very simple, and we need to be understanding some of those things and living with every day. And we'll be depriving ourselves of the things that we can enjoy. And we will come to a place where we realize that people who took their chances, people who kept life simple, went on to succeed and enjoy life on the simple things that they were doing, on following the natural laws, on following the laws that we are supposed to comply with so that our lives can improve. Life is that simple. It really doesn't matter where you are and where you start from. The only thing that is needed is for us to understand the simplicity of life and to keep our lives simple. Take our chances. Whenever we are presented with a chance, we need to take it. And our continued taking of chances will lead us to success. Keeping things simple, doing things we are supposed to do consistently will prove our worth. People will trust you because you are consistent. And people will want to deal with you because you are consistent. People want to do business with you because they know for sure this guy is consistent. And he will always do what we agreed on consistently. Keeping things simple. It's as simple as that. So the simple things that we keep on doing, which is hurting a lot of us, is to turn a deaf ear when time and chance come calling. Most of us, we are too stubborn to listen, and we are bad listeners. And a lot of us, we think we know a lot of things, but the only thing that can prove that you know something is your life and the results we see with your life. If you are quick to say, I know, but your life is speaking contrary to what you know, we know you don't know anything. So that's how simple life is. Life can be quantified. Life can be seen for what life is. We need to, a lot of us will turn a deaf ear to important information. We don't listen much and we don't do much. And the moment we do that, what we will actually be doing will be foregoing the things that we are supposed to have enjoyed. Whenever we don't take our chances, whenever we turn a deaf ear to what we are supposed to be listening to and learning from, that is a clear message that I want to forego the things that could have changed and happened for me. I'm okay with who I am and what I am experiencing now. But if you are not okay, you will definitely be a listening type. And unfortunately, in our time now, a lot of people talk too much. We are so much into talking, and we don't want to listen. And we don't learn because we think we know. But our lives are the only things that are supposed to tell you whether you know the right information or you really know. Because if your life is showing contrary to what you are proclaiming, it shows there's a problem. There's a problem of you not listening, and there's a problem of you not executing what you have learned or what you have listened to. And we need to understand that about life. For us to come to surviving and thriving in life, we don't need to be turning a deaf ear to the information that is supposed to improve us and get us to functionality, which is very important. We need to be seeing results. We need to be seeing our lives change for the better. If our lives are not changing, we should go back to the crossroads. And the most important thing when we get back to the crossroads is to take out the deaf ear so that we can listen to the right information and allow ourselves to learn and take our chances so that we can improve and do our best. And we are concluding by saying the day we hear should be the day for our turning point. This is very critical. There is no use for hearing information that we are not using. No use whatsoever, because if you hear and you don't put it into use, you are the same as people who don't know anything, because the results are going to be the same. People who don't know anything won't do anything to improve their lives. And people who know and have heard but don't put it into use, the results are going to be the same with the people who don't know. If we let it slide, we're actually forgoing our time and chance, and we increase our chances of failure, and we will never get to succeed because of beating drums when we had a chance to take heed and move in the right direction. We make a lot of noise for ourselves in most cases. We beat drums when we are supposed to be listening and taking heed or paying attention to what we need to do, the simple things we need to do to improve our lives. It is very important. Many people will never get to succeed because of their inclination to complicating things that are meant to be simple. Life is simple, and life has always been simple. People who like the spectacular are the people that always miss the mark in real life, because life is supposed to be kept simple. If we take an example of football, a goal is a goal. As long as the ball has crossed the line, that's a goal. Whether you have hit it with your stomach or with your thigh or with your foot or with your head or with your chest, the most important thing is the goal. But a lot of people want goals, which people are going to be talking about for years, and they miss many chances. If we keep it simple, we are going to be scoring many goals. Because for us, as long as the ball has crossed the line, that's the most important thing. Even in business, we need to be keeping it simple. As long as we are succeeding, well and fine. As long as we are bringing food on the table, well and fine. We need to be keeping it simple. We don't need sophisticated and complicated ideas. We just need things that can put food on our table. And if we can keep on working on that, with time, the law of compounding interest will take its course. And we are going to be improving, and we are going to be introducing the complicated things as time goes on, the complicated systems, so that they can help us improve with time. But when we start, we need to keep things simple. as long as the ball has crossed the line. Those are the things which are very important. The road to success is simple, and we have to keep repeating the simple things. One thing that I've learned about sports, athletics, and all these things are the fact that athletes work on repeating the same exercises, the same things over and over and over again. And those are the things that make them improve on their time. They make them improve on their ability to be their best in whatever they're trying to do or they are doing. They do same exercises, same everything. That's how simple life is. We do simple things. We go on the routine, and a lot of people are bored by routine. But life has been made that simple. You just have to be doing simple things, and you go on the routine. You go on the repetitive mode. We do the things that we do every day. And that's how life will always be. Life is simple, and life is always simple. And we need to be doing simple things and keep on doing simple things until we improve and we get to be doing complicated things after we master the simple things. It is very important for us to understand that. And we are ending by saying that can be complicated, but that has eluded many things, many people, and has sentenced many people to the life of struggle. Because we have complicated what was supposed to be simple. Life is meant to be simple, and life is simple. We are ending with that statement to say the simplicity of life. Life is supposed to be simple. But because we are so much inclined to the spectacular, we are so much inclined to the difficult things, and we have forgotten to keep life simple. We have so much been inclined to the glamour, and we have forgotten that all we need is shelter, all we need is food, continuous supply of food. Those are the things which are very simple. We didn't have shops in the past, but we still had food for the rest of the year because we knew where food comes from. And food is still coming from the same places we knew in the past. We used to plant enough food for the whole year for the family. And those are the simple things. We used to have enough livestock to provide meat and milk for the whole family for the whole year. Those are the simple things that we used to have. And that's how simple life is. We used to use everything. We used to use soil to build our houses and to have shelter. Those are the simple things. And we don't need to complicate life and complicate things because we just need to go back to the basics. Do what is simple. Live life the simplest way we can. And we will improve with time. Where we start is not necessarily where we are going to end. Doesn't necessarily mean because you have just allowed yourself to start from somewhere with mud and having built with soil, you are going to end with living in that kind of house forever. We can move from there. We can migrate from our lowest moment to our highest moments. So it is very important for us, and it is very important for us to put life into perspective, and we keep it simple. If we can keep life simple, our lives are going to be enjoyable. We are going to enjoy the journey from the simplicity of life, from taking things as simple as we possibly can. And the moment we do that, we are going to be enjoying life and enjoying the ride of life And we are going to achieve more because we are keeping things simple. Thank you.